none of us really know. None of us really know.
I know.
No, I know. Perfect timing, Keith.
Keith, what's up?
Your favorite movie of all time. Step 9.
Oh, good.
How is there any other choice than Remember the Titans being number 1?
I'm curious.
I'm spoiling mine, but
Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good
I'm
question,
not even
Brian.
done talking.
you shouldn't be talking at this point.
What is up, everybody? We are live. Welcome back to Apocaflix Movies and Apocaflix Now, our weekly hangout show here on the channel, where we talk about everything movies and sometimes even some TV. As you can see by our other shows on the channel, Marvel Rewind and Mandalorian Clip. Check those out. Star Wars, Marvel. And also, you can see two faces that you probably don't recognize and maybe have seen here a couple times. We have a couple special guests here joining us tonight to talk about some 2022 movies that we can't wait to get to. But I am your host, Jake Berlin, and I am joined by my fellow Apocaflix here tonight, Mr. Brian Avlicino, as he seems very busy on the computer at the moment. What's going on,
I'm
man?
looking to see how crappy my internet is right now because it has just been giving me issues all
Are you hardwired?
day.
Are you
Yeah.
hardwired?
And that's what's really annoying me. So, yeah.
Interesting.
No,
Well, I mean, outside of internet, how you
Inception
doing?
right now? Good. Yeah. I'm glad I ate dinner before POV.
Before you had a double dose of shows to do.
Yeah, we're going back to back. Yeah,
I know,
we're going
Jake's
back
like,
to back tonight.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
just do 5:30 to basically 8:30. Okay, well, there we go.
Hey,
So, yeah.
it's got to happen sometimes, Brian. That's what happens on a holiday weekend. You got to make it happen. Yeah, and joining us tonight to talk about some 2022 movies that we've seen. You have seen him on the channel multiple times during fantasy drafts and rankings before. That's my buddy, Mr. Dom Brown. What's going on, Dom?
Not much, man. I just, got a text from you today. I had plans to do absolutely nothing. I was trying to do the least amount possible. But I feel like, sitting and talking about movies is just a step above that. So, I'm basically doing nothing.
Love it.
But
Love it. I love the dedication, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I know. Jake texted me and was like, it's Wingblade. I was like, is Dom coming? Because he always has hot takes with what movies are good and bad. And I need him on this too.
Some sort of controversy
I got the
actually.
reputation already.
Yeah.
And then also joining us, you've seen him on here before, is Mr. Sean Wingblade, who is literally a block down the corner from me. What's up, my guy?
What's up, brother? How you guys doing? All of you. Thank you for texting me. And what'd you ask me? You said, hey, what are you doing? I was like, oh, just chilling and being generally awesome at life. So this is what I had to do today.
Literally verbatim. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. So
I was chilling today. I was trying to watch some movies. I watched a brand new movie. Are you guys ready? Ready for this? I watched MASH from 1970.
never seen.
It's not going to make the
Never seen.
2022 list. But
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll save it for the plugs later. I'll explain why I watched that today.
I'm glad we're
That
doing
makes
this before Thor. Because I feel like
Yes.
this could possibly change dramatically.
Oh, well, I mean, it just makes sense, right? All June and before is
Mhm.
technically 6 months, so it's kind of the perfect episode to do so. We have everything from January up until June of last week to rank or talk about or just discuss in general as far as what are our favorite movies from this year. We're going to be doing so in just a little bit, but we do a little thing to start the show off that we have to make sure that we get in tonight.
This is the second time you've said do.
Really?
2 shows.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I caught it the first time and I went,
Freudian
"Do-do."
slip.
And then
I talk
again-
fast. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
talk fast. Do. It's my thing. Do. We do a little thing on the show that is called the Movie Watching Challenge. We challenge each other to watch movies that we have never seen before. And Brian challenged Mr. Keith Barnes to watch a movie that I am not even going to attempt to talk about this week
What
because
was it
I
called?
can't.
I just want
I
to hear you
can't pronounce the
it again.
title. I cannot pronounce the title, so I'm not
Like
saying
Dom
it.
probably would have seen this.
I'm
movie.
not. I'm not going to attempt. It's from the 1940s. It's a movie Keith has been wanting to see. I don't know, but we're shifting gears. He has challenged someone, and unfortunately, that person's not here. And he has challenged Mr. Gio Ramos to this week's movie watching challenge, a movie that he's never seen before. And we're changing things up on the movie watching challenge. We are officially going to be adapting the wheel that Brian brought to the table last week. So we're going to be doing the wheel and spinning it on 4 movies that Keith has picked for Gio to watch. So Brian, if you would like to bring up the wheel and spin the wheel, we would like to see.
It was a fun new wrinkle you guys that Brian brought in. That was cool.
I think it was
last
great.
week's movie.
Yeah,
was
it was
Infernal
last
Affairs. Was that it, or is that something else?
Maybe what
It was.
I swear to you, I can't pronounce the title. I can't.
Okay.
I
suck at it.
Something
I'm terrible at it.
double indemnity.
Double indemnity. Yeah, that's what.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
that was it.
I can't do it.
I can't even remember my name half the time, but I can pull
But
double indemnity.
So the spin here, though, is instead of picking every single movie that's on the list, we're just going to be picking 4 to choose from. So Gio's going to be watching one of these 4. So Brian, if you want to spin it whenever you're ready, we'll see which one Gio's.
You want to see which movies there are? You've got All the President's Men, In Bruges, New Jack City, and The Hunt for Red October.
There we go. Hopefully Gio's watching. Probably not, but
Okay.
hopefully. Go for it.
I haven't seen any of these 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Keith's gonna be so excited. Oh my god. This is the New Jack City. Gio, if you are watching, you'll be watching New Jack City. It's a movie that Keith has been trying to challenge you to for so long. It stars Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, and Chris Rock.
And Mario Van Peebles.
And Mario Van Peebles, excuse me.
I had to Google it.
And Judd Nelson. Judd Nelson's in it. Keith's going to be so pumped that you're watching this. So there you go, Gio. If you're watching, New Jack City is your challenge movie for this week. I'm sure because Keith's going to be joining us a little bit later when he pops on after work. I'm sure he's going to be super, super excited to see that is what Gio will be watching. So tune in later next week for Gio's review of that. I will tell you that Keith's review will be coming up either tomorrow or Thursday. So you can check that out on the channel as well. All right, gentlemen. Well, we have a lot of movies to discuss for 2022 so far. We all have our individual lists. They may be long, they may be short. Maybe only a couple of us have seen so many movies compared to maybe a lot more for others. And we're just going to be talking about them in general. The way that I kind of want to do this is maybe we're going to go around the table once. One of us is going to bring up a movie that is on our list and where it's ranked, and then we're going to talk about it. And then eventually we'll get through all of our list. I know that for me, I only have 8 on my list. The max is 10. And the everything after 10 is honorable mention. So you may have 5, may have 9, anything in between. But Brian, I want to start with you. A movie that you may want to bring up to talk about first from 2022 so far. And where do you have it ranked on your list?
Well, first off, I would like to note, if you haven't seen it already, even Jacob Bartley wanted his list included. He texted.
I do. I was going to mention that. In the middle of the show.
Cool. I will go with, since it was honestly, I think like the first movie basically of the year, Scream.
Ooh, interesting start here. Okay.
It is number 6 for me.
It's number 6 for you. So, I mean, how many movies have you seen this
number
for?
6. Wow.
13.
Wow, you liked it that much?
It was pretty freaking funny.
I mean, I really liked it, but it's not numbers. I mean, it's number 8 for me, and 8 is the max on my list at the moment. Like 8 is the top. I don't have 10 right now. I have 8, and Scream is number 8.
So this for me was very much. It may not be my cup of tea, but I can recognize that it was a good movie type of situation. Like, I'm not a horror person in the slightest. I am not a slasher, blood, whatever. But this was able to carry my attention throughout the whole movie without being like overly grossed out, while still keeping me entertained through everything else that wasn't a slasher. Like, for me, the horror types of movies that literally like the best part of the movie to people is like people getting killed. That's not me. And so that's why Scream is better geared towards someone like me, where it's like they have a plot other than someone going around just killing someone. So yeah, and I mean, again, this is a movie that I may not want to watch all the time, but I can recognize when it's a good movie. So yeah,
They did a great job. I loved all the new characters they brought in.
yes,
And we're able to introduce, let the legacy characters essentially hand off the franchise, which I think we've seen in news recently too, where Nev Campbell's having like money disputes or whatever's going on there, where she may or may not be in the next film. But they're bringing back Hayden Panettiere. They're bringing back a bunch of characters from this movie, and the lead and her younger sister, the two leads in this in Scream 5. Five Scream, whatever.
The new one will be the new one will be Scream 6. This one's Scream 5.
I think they're writing that wrong. However much that wrong stuck in people's sides at the name of the title. But I enjoyed it just fine as well. It was my number 10 before I added a few movies onto the list while we were talking that I hadn't updated yet. It's now number 12, but I liked it over pretty much my top 14 movies. I liked them all. There's a few at the bottom that I didn't like at all. I'm just looking at my letterbox because I've only seen 2022 movies.
Thank God for Letterboxd, because I would not be able to keep track of my stuff.
No, I really liked Scream. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it, we over the last couple of years we've had a lot of what are so-called the legacy sequels, right? Mm-hmm. Where they Top Gun Maverick's a great example of it, and the Creed films, where they take a previous franchise and they make a sequel to it. The Jurassic World movies. I thought Scream did a really, really good job of building on what has come before, but also creating something completely different. Sean, you said it. They had a lot of great new characters that were added to the legacy characters. And as we saw the legacy characters in the film, but the new characters that was what the storyline was focused on. It wasn't focused on the legacy characters or the older characters. It was focused on the new people, with the older characters having to be brought back in some capacity.
And they didn't feel like they were brought back either. Like they made sense.
No, it made sense. It definitely made sense for all of them. And I had a lot of fun for it. It came out in January. It feels so long ago.
Right.
It definitely had its brutal moments. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't seen it, but there's one specific moment in the hospital where I was just like completely tightening up the whole time.
Oh, I think the beginning is the most when he.
I mean, the beginning's pretty bad, but the hospital moment because of what it kind of like means for the franchise is a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm curious what comes next, because I think I said it even on here, is I would love for that one to be the last one. I thought it was a great finale for everything, but they're already doing a 6. It's already been announced. Sean, you mentioned the Nev Campbell stuff. But I thought for a legacy sequel, for a horror movie, and a movie that came out in January, I thought I did a really good job. And it's number 8 on my list out of 8. I don't have 10 or anything like that. Those are the ones that I have locked in right now. It'll probably get pushed out because movies, we have 6 months to go. But I thought it was very good for what it was kind of aiming towards and coming from. So I'm very happy that it was as good as it was, because it could have been an absolute disaster. It could have been an absolute disaster, and it wasn't. So, Dom, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before January, I had seen 0 Scream movies in their entirety.
Did you binge them all?
Knocked them all out.
Love it.
Watched the new one because I'd seen the first one, parts, because I owned a TV and it was always on MTV. Like during Halloween, you could find it.
Yeah.
So I've seen, spoiler alert, Drew Barrymore die 100 times. But like I never watched the whole movie all the way through. Never watched any of the sequels, even remotely. But I had a great time with it. They weren't what I expected at all. So
how meta they got.
The little nuances and the everything they do with it is actually like really incredible, and just I had no idea how witty and tongue-in-cheek it really was until I watched it. So I enjoyed all that, and I thought the new one was great.
Not to mention, the best part is the fact that your main killer is like a horrible serial killer.
He's awful.
He's
awful.
always
every time
falling, tripping, like just so bad. That's my favorite part is watching him just like flail half the time.
We did Scream trivia on our POV Patreon in October last year, and I rewatched them all for the trivia, and I came to the conclusion after watching it that it is without a doubt my favorite horror franchise. It is without a doubt my favorite horror franchise because I think how it doesn't take itself so serious. Whereas, like, obviously the Freddy Kruegers and the Jasons of the world, they're really serious because they're actual horror films of a murderer hunting you down in some capacity. This one is like a murderer hunting you down, but you can kill him just as easily as you can kill him, as he can kill you, you know? Like,
if they can catch up to you.
Exactly. Like, and I think that's why I love it so much. And I thought that the fifth one, it was definitely a little bit more serious than we've seen in the vein of 4, because 4 had that same kind of identity too, but it also very much took that tongue-in-cheek vibe seriously in some capacity, especially when it came to the killer aspect of it all. I thought it adapted very well with the times. It's as much as it hurts me to say it's low on my list, it's still a big plus because horror film sequels, especially a fifth one, can be very bad. Very, very bad. So I think it's a huge plus for them.
Yeah. I did a binge rewatch as well. I literally finished the 4th movie on my phone as Dimension hit the screen in the movie theaters. Like I was like, all right, perfect timing. Let me put
that sounds like Gabby when she tried to binge The Last Jedi.
She did it with Star Wars. She did it with Star Wars. She was watching The Last Jedi on the iPad at the restaurant before we saw The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. All right, Sean, I'm gonna go to you next, man. What's a movie that you want to bring up, and where is it on your list?
Okay, so what's the deal with the list at the end? Just so are we doing strategy, like only so many are going to make the list, or are we just bringing?
No, I think we're just going to reveal I thought about doing a tier list, but I thought that our list, because of schedules and people watching different movies, it wouldn't have matched up properly. So I think towards the end, we're just going to reveal our top 8, 10, whatever it may be.
Okay. You know, it's been a wild year when I've seen more new movies than Jake has.
It depends on the count, Brian. Depends on the count.
I have seen 13. How many have you seen?
I'll count right now.
I'm currently at 18 because I'm staring at him. But
Dom's beating us all right now, I think.
I know.
So.
Yeah.
Let me bring. I've seen plenty of new movies to me, just not 2022 movies.
Oh well, we're talking new movies just like that.
Yeah. I'll bring up because maybe a movie that none of the three of you guys have seen. Has anyone else seen The Bad Guys?
No.
It was an animated movie about
the one with the wolf. Yeah,
yep,
okay.
The wolf. There's a snake. There's a piranha, a tarantula, and a shark, and they're a whole group of bad guys. And then there's a sly fox who he falls in love with, and So I took the kids to see it because it's a kids movie, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Awkwafina, Craig Robinson, Anthony Ramos. Like I'm just kind of reading down the cast list: Zazie Beetz, Alex Borstein, Lily Singh. There's a ton of great voice actors in here. And it's kind of in the vein, like it's not a movie where I think the advertising, like it's not going to just super draw people to the theaters. Probably only parents who, had kids like, I want to go see the new cartoon will go to it. But it was really fun. It was a fun, like crime movie over, Ocean's 11, that there's a plan. And then the plan goes a different way, and then you got to go back and they go back in time and they reveal how the plan went wrong along the way, and like it's this whole thing. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Apparently it's on Peacock.
So there you go.
And that seems like a movie that these days is going to split between theaters and streaming, like a lot of movies are these days. I saw that. It's funny, I saw the trailer maybe like a week or two
1,000 times
before it came out. No,
I've seen it.
I saw it maybe like a week or two before it came out. I don't know if it was just me not seeing it on TV or if I didn't see it in the right theater, but I saw the trailer very late. It looked like a lot of fun. It looked interesting. And it seems to be getting pretty decent reviews, which, I'll watch it if it's good.
I think it did get pretty good reviews, and it was a lot of fun. The animation was great. It has a lot of heart to it. It tells like a tale of like, making sure like the friends you keep versus the family that you're born with, like that type of stuff, and make sure you keep people close. Be good to your friends. Whether you're a bad guy, you can always change your stars. Like it has all the themes for a good inspirational and like a story that you want to tell kids, where you can always do better in life type of thing. And I really enjoyed it. So yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. I'm guessing 10 on my list.
I'm guessing the kids loved it.
Yeah, the kids loved it too. Yeah, it wasn't one there where they were like, "Let's go see it again," which they've done to a few movies. So I don't know if they've watched it on streaming yet. They watch a lot of shit that I don't pay attention to when I'm at work. They run the house because my wife's working, I'm working. But they might have rewatched it. I'm not really sure, but they enjoyed it. I remember that they were really happy about it, like leaving the movie. Like, I'm gonna be this person, or they always play. I'm that person. I'm that person. They had a good time.
All right, good to know.
Definitely.
It's not if it's on Peacock, I'm definitely gonna give it a chance. Like, that gives me a great option to watch it if it's on streaming. So, and Brian, to answer your question, I've seen 15 movies this year.
Oh, well, there you go.
One upper.
If it's close, then that's enough to say.
All right, Dom, you're up next. What movie would you like to talk about next, and where is it on your list?
I'll just go with kind of probably one that's on everyone's list because I want to keep my top pretty secretive so far. But number 6, so I only did 8. But number 6, I put Doctor Strange.
Great way to start.
So, I don't think as of right now with the movies I see coming out, don't know if this will make my top 10 at the end of the year. I'm leaning towards no.
I'm kind of with you.
But I will say that
it's already out of my top 10.
There you go.
I've only seen 18 movies.
Well, I did like it. I'll say I liked it, and I loved what they did and the direction Sam Raimi had. Obviously, I think there was some components to the movie that were flawed, but I liked what they allowed Sam Raimi to do because it kind of gives me hope that they're going to continue letting directors kind of have a little more reign, especially as the world gets darker, quote unquote, with certain characters coming in. So as like a teaser towards what they might be letting directors get away with, storylines they're going to play with, I enjoyed it in that aspect. And then there's like a lot of just cool, I love the Doctor Strange dimensions and the way they're able to show that, and just cool. It's just cool. It's just really cool. I can't go into deeper. Just the worlds they were able to create, I think are really fascinating.
I love how absolutely unapologetically Sam Raimi it is. Like, it is, and we've seen movies. Obviously, the one that comes to mind is Ragnarok when it was Taika, right? And in just a week, we'll be seeing what Taika has in store with Love and Thunder, which next week's show, everybody, will be a full Love and Thunder breakdown. Just a little plug.
In a week and 2 days.
In a week and 2 days.
No, 2 days.
Oh yeah, 2 days we'll be seeing Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Duh. Yeah. God, it came so quick. I love how different it was and how it didn't care about the not just Marvel standards but the comic book standards. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best movie as a story, and it didn't have every single piece it needed to have. But I think overall, it did exactly what it needed to do. And again, I came out of the theater thinking to myself, I don't know if I ever would have loved a Sam Raimi movie in the Marvel Universe, but now that I have it, I want more of it. Like, I love how he took so many risks with the story and the characters and certain visuals and camera angles, and like just everything about it was so weird and wacky and lived up to the whole Multiverse of Madness name. He literally took that name and said, I'm making a movie that literally says the name. And we can argue the arc of Wanda and all that stuff, forever. That's fine. I'm okay with it. I agree with it. I think it's a great move because we haven't seen where it goes. We only saw where it ends in this film. There's still story to be told with her. So how can you argue with how it is now when you don't really know what the ending is? Even though there's an ending in this movie. It's really cool to see Marvel let a director embrace what they're all about. Because we saw Sam Raimi do Spider-Man, right? And they're great, but it didn't really ever feel like Sam Raimi except for some camera shots, right? It was a comic book movie.
Yeah.
This is full on Sam Raimi. The music note scene, the zombie strange, like everything about it is full on Sam Raimi. And I think it's just such an enjoyable movie. You know, whether it's rewatchable or not, that's something that can be argued. But there's a lot of things to love about it. And, you know, the Illuminati and just like everything about that was incredible. The risk they took there. And then the character arcs with Strange and Wanda specifically, and the introduction of America Chavez. And there's really a lot to love about it. So for me, if I'm not mistaken, it is, let me pull it up. Oh my God. It is number 5 on my list out of 8 so far. But like Dom said, there's 6 months left of movies. I don't know where it's going to end up. I would love for it to end up in 10, but I have a chance it'll be just shy of my top 10 by the end of the year. So
this movie is very slowly dropping for me as more and more movies come out.
Question for the class: has anybody rewatched it on Disney Plus?
Not on Disney Plus. We all saw it in IMAX opening night. My wife had never seen WandaVision when it was released, so we binged it together, and then I went back and saw it in 3D.
Got it.
So, but that was within the week after the movie had come out. So it's been since then since I've watched it.
So it's slowly dropping for me because I'm such a film aficionado now that movies are climbing up.
Now that you're on par with Jake.
Yeah, exactly. But it is one of the rare times that I feel like a company just gave the director like the money and said, "Here, make a movie," and he just literally did whatever he wanted.
Right.
It was the closest thing we got to James Gunn making Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure.
Since Guardians of the Galaxy for the MCU.
I'd say Taika with Ragnarok, but
I guess Ragnarok,
same vein.
Yeah.
In principle, regardless of where it is on my list, in principle, I really enjoy that Feige and Marvel and Disney as a whole are letting directors do exactly what you're describing. Where here's money, we trust your vision, we like your pitch, put it on the screen, let's figure out what you got, because they are that's the only way where a series like the MCU, which is 30 plus the TV shows, so 35, 36 franchises deep, is going to continue and stand the test of time and can bypass the superhero fatigue. And because every genre of movie has gone through fatigue, like ebbs and flows, like crime movies, gangster movies, Western movies, rom-coms, but who knows how long the superhero genre will last as the top earners of the box office. It will last when you let your movies be more than just superhero movies. And so I enjoy that Marvel has the money, Disney has the money to let their directors not to even take a hit on a movie, but just to let a movie break even and it not be a super duper $2 billion hit. They have the power to allow that to happen because they're okay financially. They can do that. They're probably not going to rehire that director, but they can stand if their studio doesn't have a super hit after every movie. Whereas other studios are like, if we don't make money off of this thing, we're going under. And that happens
AKA
sometimes.
Sony, Warner Brothers,
Yeah. Not Sony. Sony keeps cranking out crap like it's no one's business. But yeah, it's funny because this was one of the ones that it very much felt like a literal comic book that they put on a movie screen, because like the way they were just killing people off, the way batshit crazy things were happening on screen, that it's just like, it literally felt like it was a comic book that was a movie on the screen. But yeah, like I said, it is slowly slipping, but I have it at 4 right now.
Brian, is it slipping because other movies are just better and bringing it down the list, or because your thought of the movie is going down?
Both.
Okay.
More probably towards better movies. However, every time I look at my list, I've moved it down from a movie I've seen a while ago, going back and thinking like, this movie was actually like better than it.
Okay, so
Like,
it's not reminiscing as fond as it did on
as
like
the three
recent-
that are above it. Like I can't wait till Jake hears. Well, he'll figure out one of them, but maybe one of the three above my
Is one of them For All Mankind?
that's a TV show, isn't it? Or is that a
I
movie?
was making a
gotcha.
joke. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I was
Okay.
literally looking at my list For All Mankind.
No, definitely Morbius.
Yeah.
because I hooked Brian on For All Mankind, which is why I made that.
I'm already on it.
Last thing. So I mean, my thoughts on the movie are I liked a lot. I didn't like a lot. One thing is that I liked it less after my second watch. After binging WandaVision, because I hadn't watched WandaVision since it was released on a week-to-week basis. My wife had never seen it, so we went through. WandaVision is basically a 4.5-hour movie, especially when you watch them all 9 in a row, which we did over the course of 2 nights. And I liked WandaVision way better than I did when it originally aired. Watching it in 30-minute segments, I liked it a lot more as a binge model, and I think I fell back in love with the character of WandaVision a lot more. With Wanda, not WandaVision.
It's WandaVision.
And so that's why I liked less what they did to her in this movie and how they just took a hard 90 with her character arc, because I felt like the end credit scene with the Darkhold and WandaVision was super shoehorned in and didn't fit at all with the theme of the entire show of her learning acceptance and learning about grief and learning how to deal with that grief. It was just her going, no, I want to have it my way and I have the power, so I'm going to do it. And I didn't like that at all after watching it the second time. I still have it above other movies, but it went down after my second watch. It looked really cool in 3D. There's a lot that works really well. The graphics were fantastic. The music note fight, like there was so much that worked for this movie. But I think I'm not a huge Raimi fan, to be honest. Like I haven't seen a ton of Raimi movies other than Spider-Man.
That's very fair because he has a very
stylized,
specific style of director. 100%. Dom, what about you? Where does it rank, and what are your thoughts quickly on Multiverse?
I had it at number 6.
Okay,
He's the one that brought it up.
Yeah.
Duh.
I like what he said. Like I liked it a lot. I didn't like it a lot. Like there was things that I really liked, things that were like that was wasteful or just dumb. But I was more intrigued with what the film might stand for going forward, just as far as like a Marvel movie cornerstone. Because since everything is trending towards a darker reality and the MCU.
Yeah.
And I think this is setting the page for all that. So I'd be interested to go back and revisit it once we get something, say like Blade, and those kind of movies start trickling out, or more shows start trickling out, to go back and kind of see where this would rank, or like how this made those movies possible. So it's more like a respect and intrigue for that movie than an actual love for the movie.
Fair. That's very fair. All right, before we move on, I want to bring in our 5th member tonight. Mr. Keith Barnes has joined us, finally gotten off work. He is here to talk some movies. What's up, man?
Keith.
What up, Keith?
Good evening, gentlemen. How's everyone?
Good. How you doing, man?
You're going to be very happy with the movie that Gio got challenged to.
Excellent. I mean,
he got challenged to New Jack City.
Oh, really? Great. I did not. That was actually the least likely one I thought, but I can't wait to see what he thinks of that. Good.
All right, Keith. So we've talked about. We've talked about The Bad Guys, which is an animated film. We've talked about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Brian, you brought up Scream. So those are the 3 movies we've talked about. Are any of those on your list?
I completely forgot about Scream. That was this year, wasn't it? Well,
yeah. January.
That's one of our
early, though.
When we did our we didn't do them last year. It's been a while since we've done them. We used to do our Apocaflix awards. One of our awards was, that was this year. And Scream would have been on that list. So I do have Doctor Strange on my list, though, yes.
Where is Doctor Strange on the list before we move on?
And how big is your list?
Yeah,
how many movies? 10.
That's a real personal question, Sean.
And I don't mind 10. I don't mind.
Where is Strange on it?
It's number 7 on my list.
Okay, that's about average. I have it at 5. Brian has it at 4. Dom has it at 6.
7's a little an average for that one.
I mean, it's all in order. 4, 5, 6, 7.
I guess
Yeah,
it's
well,
true.
5, 6,
It's
7,
true.
And again, this is not a movie like none of these. There's only one. Actually, kind of now that I'm looking at it, I should replace my number 10 with Scream, so I'll probably do that. But once I do that, they're all will be movies that I like. So it's not like
Do you know how many you've seen new this year, or do you just make a top 10 list?
The 10 that I made were the ones that I actually seen until I remember Scream. Scream's another one.
So you've only seen 11 2022 movies then.
11 and a half. I actually started.
Okay.
I started Death on the Nile, and I haven't.
Okay.
Did I track that one? I don't know.
That was a pusher through, Keith.
I watched that one too.
Pusher
I like
through.
it. I like Poirot.
Okay.
I actually like it.
I did see that one.
All right, so I want to get to a movie that I want to bring up.
Of course.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Nah, it's just I want to get to a movie that I want to bring up, and
I want to bring up this movie.
I'm thinking in
that
my head it's one of two because there's no way he's letting one of them go.
100%. It's not the one that you probably think I'm going to bring
No,
up. So I might let Keith bring that one up. I'm going to bring up a movie that I don't know if everyone's seen, but it's one of the best movies that I've ever seen. That is The Northman.
That's what
I'm
I was
bringing
thinking
up
you
The
were going to
Northman.
bring up.
Okay, who has seen The Northman here? Sean, Keith, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
No.
duh! It's on I'm pretty sure it's on Peacock. If
It's
I'm
on
not mistaken.
Peacock, yeah.
It is.
It is on Peacock. Look, before a certain movie came out, this was my undoubtedly best movie of this year. And I know that we're only halfway through this year. This movie blew my mind. And if you've watched us long enough here on the channel or any other channel, you know that I have a ridiculous obsession with Vikings stories being told on both TV and film. I don't know what it is. I love it. But when I watched this movie, I had a certain amount of expectation just because I have a lot of history with Viking stories on television and film. And what I got was something more than I could ever imagine. It was absolutely brilliant from top to bottom, start to finish. It was everything I wanted. Alexander Skarsgård screams Viking from the moment you see him on the screen to the very end, and what a great ending it was. I won't spoil anything for anybody because you should not have to be spoiled by this movie. But the cast is unbelievable. The direction is fantastic. The storytelling is pretty masterpiece, if you will. And I know that it's not in theaters anymore. But if you ever get the chance to see this movie in a theater, go watch it in a theater. It is an absolute treat.
How are you
This
going
is
to
Robert Eggers, right?
Robert Eggers.
Robert
Robert
Eggers.
Eggers. And
Would you say that whether you were or weren't a fan of his movie, is it very much an Eggers movie? Like we were talking
so it's
about
very
naming
much
earlier?
it's very much an Eggers movie, but it's very much more of a kind of lessened Robert Eggers film. But it still screams Robert Eggers, but it's not The Lighthouse, The Lobster, that type of stuff. The Witch. It's more in the vein of The Witch than it is the other two. It takes certain turns, but it doesn't take as many as the other ones. It's to me, it's his masterpiece. It's his best film, in my opinion. It's his best film, without a doubt, no question about it. And I think the cast had. Oh, he didn't do The Lobster. My apologies. I thought he did Lobster.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
my bad. But I think just the cast made this film everything it was. Their performances: Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, Willem Dafoe, Ethan Hawke, Nicole Kidman. The cast goes on and on and on. It's just brilliant. I thought it was brilliant from start to finish. So I can't rave about this movie enough. Seriously, I've seen it 3 times already.
Oh wow.
Dom, I'll let you go next.
Yeah, it's quite a visual piece of art. It's really artistic. It's really focused on just a brutal but beautiful story. And Eggers, I can't wait to see what else he does. This is obviously his commercial. People like, hey, let's see how he does commercially, because the way
that's what Tim just said. That yep, most widely accessible.
Yes, exactly. This is they gave him some money to push a movie in theaters. What sucks is I don't know if it even broke even. But because it's not, I don't know, it's still very artsy and, might be kind of snobbish, high cinema. People might be turned off by that because there is some, the way the story goes with the mythology, it gets really interesting. But it's, there's some stuff out there that maybe turns off a regular commercial audience. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. I haven't seen The Witch. I think The Lighthouse is a better film, just from. I mean, it's more Willem Dafoe in that movie, I would say, than anything. But I think as a film goes, I enjoyed The Lighthouse better. But The Northman is. I'd probably watch The Northman before I go watch The Lighthouse again.
Where's the Northman on your list, Mom?
I have it at 4.
Brian, is it on?
Am I doing my spiel before I give?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I just want to know where it was. That's all.
What did Dom just say? The movie is more high class or something. What did he say?
Well, I don't want to say. I'm just saying that.
What was the term? Because I consider myself
high-end cinema.
High bar. High-end cinema. As a connoisseur of high-end cinema now.
There you go.
Highbrow.
Highbrow. I've never heard Jake make so many noises during a movie in my life than I did this movie. Whether it be like cheers or just, I don't even know. And I don't think this movie was batshit crazy.
It was amazing.
If I ever imagined doing drugs at certain points, it was during this movie. Like things were just going haywire, and I was loving every second of it. With that being said, on my list is my number 3 movie right now.
Woo! It's my number. I didn't say it, but it's my number 2. It's my number 2.
It is higher than a Marvel movie for me. This movie, I was blown away this whole entire movie because I was just like, this is so insane, but I'm loving every second of it.
I don't think Brian has ever seen as artsy as a film as The Northman, like ever in your life. Because it's like
White Chicks is pretty artsy.
Oh my god! Here we
White
go.
Chicks.
Jesus. Keith's face says it all.
I know.
Terry Crews is acting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Terry
As far
Crews,
as-
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what something artsy for me would be. I'm
telling you, Brian, this might be the most artsy you've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm looking at my movie shelf. Like, I mean, no, I don't. There's nothing like super like artsy, I guess, if you want to call it, that I've seen. But yeah, this movie was wild, and I loved every freaking second of it, and it does not hold back in the slightest.
Attaboy.
So yeah, this was my shocker. The fact that it's like holding a death grip over some movies that I have been looking forward to for years. Like, and it's still beating Marvel movies and movies like, yeah, it's shocking to me. Like, I've literally gone, I'll rank it. Did I like it as much as this movie? And like, other than 2 other ones, nothing's past it. So,
Well, I mean,
Sean and Keith, are you guys looking forward to it at all?
The marketing got me for sure, and at the time when it came out, there's like, when you miss the conversation, and then you're like 2 weeks later trying to go back and like jump into it, you're like, oh, they've already moved on to something else. Now I need to jump onto that trend instead of the one that's already. And so it's just one of those things where it just kept getting pushed down the list.
don't watch it with the kids.
Definitely, I've heard, and the marketing got me, but then I've also heard how very much of a different movie it is than the marketing kind of posed it to be.
It is. It is.
so different expectations.
But
So
not in a
I'm
bad
okay-
way. Not in a bad
Yeah,
way.
so I'm okay with going in it just for like fresh minds. If I ever have, whatever, however long it is, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, I just need that amount of time to, instead of watching it while I'm at work on my phone on my lunch break, like I need to actually sit down on the couch and watch it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to
Not
do
a
that
fun movie.
when I'm, I got kids running around the house at all times. So
Yeah, you
Especially in
definitely
the
got to
summer.
find a time to watch it on the TV. Watch it as on the biggest screen you possibly can in the dead
As loud
of
as
night where it's
possible.
quiet. Yeah, it needs to be experienced that specifically. What about you, Keith? Is this something that was on your radar too this year?
It was not. No, but I'll check it out. Everybody, you guys, you've been raving about it for a while, so
You Viking hater!
yes, that's what it is. Yes. No, I don't. No, there's other stuff that is I'm more interested in. So similar to what Sean just said, there's just other stuff coming, and I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this. And
Yep.
The Northman is just not high on my movie priorities, but I'll definitely get to it because it sounds. I mean, just the way everyone's been talking about it. I need to watch it at least to make my own.
Keith, I have a feeling you'd love it.
Hopefully, yeah. I like Robert Eggers. So
All right, Keith, it's your turn. What is a movie that you want to bring up on your list, man? Where does it rank?
I swear to God, if there's a Sopranos movie or something, just skip it. Dude,
That was last year.
Okay.
Brian, listen, I'm gonna go easy on you because you loved.
I'm a man of taste.
You loved. Well, you had me watch Joanna Man a few years ago.
And the hot chick. Don't forget that
And
one.
the hot chick. So let's settle down, guy. But you loved A League of Their Own, which made me very happy. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Very
Great.
much loved it.
Great movie.
Yes.
It was on TV after you guys' last show when you guys were
okay.
discussing
really?
it. I'm like,
Oh,
I
really?
got to sit down and watch it. Yeah.
Brian, did you just real quick? And did you watch the closing credits?
Yes.
Yeah. Those were like the real women.
Yeah,
that
the
actually
real
played.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had no idea. That
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
blew my mind. I love
Yeah.
that movie.
I can't wait for the show to come out.
Yeah,
Me
same.
too.
Okay.
Me too.
Let's see. Well, I will start. I'll start with my top 5.
Just one, Keith, not all
Yeah,
five.
no,
Just one.
that's what I'm saying. I'm starting at number 5.
Okay.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. If anyone talked about that yet?
Nobody
We
yet.
Okay. Yeah, I had that at number 5. I had it higher until I saw the next 4 movies that came out ahead of it. Well, except for the Batman. But yeah, this movie's crazy. It's actually probably it's more multiverse than
100%.
Doctor Strange.
100% it is.
Way more. It's actually all the multiverse stuff we were expecting from Doctor Strange. We got it in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit, even for me, and I'm good at when I watch movies, I get into it, I stick with it, I'm watching where it's going. Had a tough time staying with this movie. I will admit.
It is super hard
It's hard to follow
what's going on.
Yeah. I think probably because it's longer than you would think.
Are you saying
It's
that
2.5
because
hours.
Yeah.
confusing?
No.
I don't want to say confusing, but just there's so much
It's
going
complex. It's a
Yeah.
very complex film.
on. Right.
Okay, so am I
Brian,
going
you
to
haven't
like
seen it yet?
this? No.
Okay.
Oh, I
wanna
think
watch it.
you'll like it.
Brian,
really
you
gotta-
have to watch it without looking at your phone or computer.
I was gonna say you got to focus, pay attention. Even then, there's some stuff that goes kind of unexplained, which it doesn't really matter. It's fine, but it's bizarre. It's funny. It's very funny. It was way funnier than I was thinking.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. And listen,
Dom, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, listen. We got rocks with goo eyes on them. That's one of the best scenes I've seen in any movie in a long time.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great. It's a crazy movie. Michelle, someone mentioned, I missed who it was, but
Yeah,
Michelle
Michelle.
Yeoh definitely would be nominated for an Oscar.
And Ki-Hoo Kwan too. He was fantastic.
He was
I loved him.
incredible. Short round, man.
We haven't
Like,
seen him in 30
Short
years.
round!
He killed it.
he was great in this movie, and apparently he's been on a lot of fight choreography stuff,
Mhm.
which is pretty. Which I had no idea. I didn't know that at all. But yeah, that's awesome.
So you guys all go to short round when you think of him? Because I'm Data.
No, it's
I'm
Data.
Goonies.
Data.
You guys are all thinking Indiana Jones. I think Goonies.
See, I'm short round.
I think of Indy personally, but Data's close.
It's
I
right
always
there.
go Data.
Yeah, they're both right. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It's bizarre that he hadn't done anything since then.
I feel like I haven't seen him since Goonies.
He hadn't done much.
Yeah, he did quite a few interviews talking about his time away from acting and stuff, and then wanting to get back into it as well. And I think it was Crazy Rich Asians, I think, is the interview I saw where that kind of reinvigorated his love for acting. Like, okay, cool. My representation is back on screen now, and I have a place to where I can, show out essentially. And so he's like, let me call my agent. Let me get back in there.
Yeah,
he did not miss.
There you go. What
beat.
Khan said, basically.
He did not miss a single beat. He was
great,
so good throughout the entire film, and he and Michelle Yeoh together were fantastic. They're back and forth through the entire movie, just because. I mean, it's not spoilers, but they're playing multiple versions of themselves, and to be able to flip switches just like that, that takes a lot of work and talent, and it's clear that he still has it.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh my God. I didn't even know she was in it. I had no idea she was even in it.
I think I saw a picture of her on like the red carpet or whatever, or some interview maybe it was, and I was like, oh, okay, she's in the movie. I did not expect a lot of the what happens in the movie with all the characters.
She's great. She's just great. She's just great. Yeah, 100%.
And if you love the song, I forgot what it's called. What's it? This is the story of a girl.
Okay, yeah.
There's multiverse versions of that song in this movie. Let's just put it that way, which I thought was hilarious.
Does this movie have legs to withstand towards like Oscar time? Because that's what I keep hearing from this.
Yes.
Like I'm talking Best Picture.
Well,
certain categories. Probably not Best Picture.
They still nominate 10 movies, right?
Raccacoonie.
Yes, right. Yes. Once you get to Oscar season, that's when all those movies start coming out. So it might get forgotten, unfortunately. It should.
I hope no. So you said it's your number 5.
Yeah.
It's my number 1, and it might be my number 1 over like the last 3 years.
Wait, and
you too, Dom? Dom, you too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, it honestly, like, and we'll talk about Maverick later on, but they're very close to each other for so much different reasons on the type of movies they are.
Coming out of it, I said the same thing. I said this is the best movie of the year.
So when I went and saw it, because the new movie theaters up north and at the Galleria, I showed up at the Galleria. I had bought my ticket for Blue Oaks. I've never been so happy to have like 20 minutes of credits, because I showed up right when the movie started. I'm like, oh shit, I'm at the wrong place. I had to drive 15 minutes up the road. But I'm so glad I caught this, because everyone was talking about it, but it wasn't here. It wasn't in Sacramento.
It took a
while, and then it was only at like a handful of theaters with a handful of showtimes. So I was able to get a day free to go see it, and I'm so happy I did. And it was fantastic watching it, like you said, in theaters where you can't pick your phone up. And we had a full theater. It was damn near sold out too, because there weren't many showtimes available, and you could sit down and focus. And everyone was crying at the right times. Everyone was laughing at the right times. It was not just a great movie. It was a theater experience, because when you go see this type of movie in a theater, you're with other people who see these types of movies, because they're so limited. It wasn't just like, oh, what's on? Okay, cool. I'll see that random thing with 30 or 50 or 100 different things on the poster. You have no idea what the movie's about. People sought out this movie and went and saw it, and I hope that everyone else does too. It's definitely my favorite movie here.
Yeah.
Dom?
I think it is very important that everyone sees this movie, because there's nothing like it. The fact that the scale they were able to accomplish, like everything they were able to accomplish with this movie, is just I've never couldn't fathom it.
Right.
Like, if you told me that you put on paper like this is what all this movie's going to touch, I'd be like, all right, I'll watch this. I'll watch this 10-hour movie.
Yeah, seriously.
And like, yes, it is a little long if you want to, but everything that they are able to, I'll say jam in here, but everything fits. It's not just like, here's just more stuff. Everything fits. The drama, the humor, the action, the rocks, it all works.
The family dynamic, the mother-daughter, father-daughter, everything.
The fingers.
And the action.
Oh my God,
the love
fingers.
Stories.
Oh my God.
And the action, so much good, well choreographed action. Just
absolutely.
Fantastic fighting too. I'll say dirty fighting.
Yes, I was going to say, for a movie that involves I'll just plug
that.
To also have
Did he say plugs?
but then
Just-
make me
He's plugging the movie.
and then make me cry.
Yeah.
We're
Like,
right.
Who would have thought? Who would have
It's-
thought? Like that, these two things could exist in the movie.
Are there butt plugs in this movie?
We're not saying anything, Brian.
Oh
We're
my-
not saying anything.
I'm
Are
seriously,
there what, Brian?
Yeah,
I'm
like, this is a
seriously
family show.
debating. It's showing at Natomas
Go.
at 7 p.m. I'm debating seeing it. I feel like I would enjoy this more in the theater than I would
Yes.
at sitting
Oh,
at home.
absolutely.
No, I'm jealous because I watched it at home. I wasn't able to
Oh,
go to a theater, so I'm
Because
very jealous.
If I'm
that you
in
get
the
to go to a
theater, I'm not gonna be able to
Yeah.
like be as distracted.
Brian, do it. Go see the movie.
it's not showing. I saw it downtown, right now. It's not showing downtown.
No, the
Oh.
closest.
It
is-
probably got taken out this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it 2 months ago when it was here, but I don't know if
Yeah.
it's still out.
Yeah.
So okay, so
It-
real quick,
and it has become A24's top grossing movie
Yeah.
because of the legs it's had.
William has the perfect comment here. Any movie with an actual cockfight is a winner. You're right.
yeah,
You're right. You're right. So Keith, you had it at what 5?
5.
Sean and Dom, you had it at both at 1.
One.
I have it at 4. It's
Oh,
at
wow.
4 for me. I don't think it's moving. If I watch it one more time, it might even get shot up more. To be quite honest, like
Same.
I think it's 100% in my top 10 no matter what by the end of the year.
Mhm.
I don't think there's any way it's moving. Everyone should go watch it if you need any kind of recommendation.
You don't think it's moving,
just-
meaning that nothing? Because your top 3 are probably solid.
I don't think it's gonna leave my top 10 is probably what I should have
Okay.
said. I have a feeling it'll be at the most it'll be in my top 8, 100%. But I have a feeling that if I watch it one more time, it might make my top 5. It might stay there.
Okay, I know what your top 2 are, but did you like Morbius that much to put it at number 3?
I loved Morbius that much. I loved
I
Morbius that
am
much.
waiting
But I didn't even see it.
I don't think I've ever physically waited for a movie to be free more than that movie.
Me too. Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I'm not renting. I'm not
No.
buying nothing. Nothing. Absolutely not.
I wish they would have stopped it.
I still feel like I get my money back for having seen it, even though I didn't. Play it.
I feel like I need my money back for watching the previews. You joking?
Yeah.
All right. So we only have about 20 plus minutes left on the show. What I want to do now is I want to run through each of our top however many we have and kind of dissect them, talk about them as the show kind of winds down a little bit. There's a couple movies that have not been mentioned. And again, for everyone watching, there's some of us who haven't gotten the chance to see everything. We're still working our way through some stuff. Like I haven't been able to go out and see things like Elvis or Lightyear. I haven't been able to sit down and make time for something like RRR on Netflix, which I know
I need to
people
watch
are
that as
talking
well.
like crazy about.
We got
Um,
a chat right now
hour
going on.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Tim brought it up, which is why I said it. It's just there's certain time for that stuff. So
Yeah.
this is all stuff that we've been able to have time for. I'm just going to go from left to right here. So Brian, I'll let you start this off. Why don't you go ahead and name off your rankings, however many you have, and then we'll discuss them. Let's go for it.
So I'm just reading my whole list.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have seen 13 movies this year of 2022. From bottom to top, I have Death in the Nile being last. Then I have The Lost City. Oof, that movie.
You didn't like it?
You didn't
That's
like
Lost
awesome.
City?
I watched it last night. Gabby and I watched it last night. I had fun with it.
Yeah,
It was fun, but it wasn't anything like blow my mind.
I had quite a bit of fun with it, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I forgot to put that on my list. I've seen a 19 then. I forgot that came out this year.
I have Turning Red at 9.
Mhm.
Which I feel like is funny because I feel like I get the most crap from that one. Actually, that's 11.
Why?
11. Why? Because people loved that movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's my
I
number
thought
3.
it was. It's your number 3.
I hear,
Holy
yeah,
moly.
I hear you. I got
Yeah,
it. Yep.
I think it's great. It just wasn't like.
Sure.
For me. Then 10, I have Fire Island, that movie on Hulu. Then 9, I have Jackass Forever.
Oh my god, that came out this year too.
I forgot about that. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Gab's seen 16 movies this year.
Yeah.
12 for me. Yeah, 12.
Then I have at 8, Sonic 2.
Ooh, yeah.
7, I have Lightyear. 6, I have Scream. This is honestly probably my most hot take right now. 5, I have The Secrets of Dumbledore. I forgot the name of the movie.
Oh my God, Brian!
As a Harry Potter fan,
Brian, I'm gonna remove you from this fucking.
no, stop.
Why?
As a Harry Potter fan, I feel like they finally kind of like did a decent amount of balancing both sides. Like, was it the best? No. Should it still be called Fantastic Beasts at all? No. But for what they did compared to the last one, which is hot garbage, it was better.
It was better.
4, I have Doctor Strange. 3, I have Northman. 2, I have the Batman. 1, I have Top Gun. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would have a DC movie above Doctor Strange.
I mean,
Marvel
that list, obviously, the Fantastic Beasts is the most surprising. But if I'm not mistaken, Brian, going into this year, Lightyear was your number 1 most anticipated, right? So for it to already be at 7 halfway through is probably a little disappointing, right?
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't everything I hoped it would be.
Okay.
I don't know.
Has anybody else seen Lightyear?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Okay, Dom, Sean, what do you guys think?
It's at number 9 for me.
Okay.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I don't get there was so much drama because like things were getting politicized with the Tim Allen and the Chris Evans of it all, which was just a ridiculous conversation, regardless of what side you fall on. But and then all of the stuff about the representation in it and having a gay kiss, or I guess a lesbian kiss, not just a gay kiss, but like
half a second.
just if for half a second, like everyone needs to calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot though. It just, it's in my top 10 for sure, at least right now.
Okay. Dom?
Yeah, it didn't make my list. It was fine. Pixar animation just keeps blowing my socks off.
Beautiful movie too.
Better. Yeah.
Just to speak to the animation of it, it was gorgeous.
So,
movie.
WALL-E is one of my favorite Pixar movies,
Mhm.
and if you remember, the director of Lightyear was the guy who made the little short Bernie, who's the guy like cleaning the outside of the ship.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I felt like there was some crossover, cool like space animation that someone who's worked on a project of space and animation doing this movie. So all the space stuff I thought looked really cool. I thought.
I will say there's a twist in it that I didn't see coming from a mile away.
Yeah, I agree with
That
that.
was
I've heard about it. I know what
Pretty
you're talking about. I know it.
yeah,
Mhm.
that was pretty cool. That I was like, a Pixar movie has a twist? Like what?
No spoilers, because I haven't seen
No,
it.
I'm not. But I'm just saying, like, it was kind of cool, like having a movie like this and then just getting like a what the hell?
Yeah,
Like,
if you paid attention to a lot of the other Lightyear content and the Star Command content, and you're like, oh, the backstory on that character is way different than I ever thought it would be. Yeah,
it is.
understand.
It is. If you are a fan of the character Buzz Lightyear, it is very fun
Mhm.
to see him going about using his catchphrases, his buttons and stuff like that. Like you do get like, you're like, there were a lot of times just like, oh, that's weird, blah, blah, blah. So that was appeasing.
Oh, he said the thing from the movie. It's like Leo. It's like Leo pointing at the movie.
Yeah.
He said the thing from Toy Story.
Your kids?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did they because some of the stuff as far as like the time jumps
Mhm.
and like kind of getting into
I would say that
comprehend that, because some of the stuff was like, this is a kid's movie. Like
I would say that we didn't discuss it afterwards, but they didn't have any questions. Like there wasn't like, because sometimes they'll stop me in the middle of a movie and be like, did they, what does that mean, or like what happened?
Mhm.
And they kind of just roll with it. But also they just liked it at the end, and it's just a cartoon movie that they can kind of read once it comes out on Disney Plus, in a few weeks.
he's flying fast through space. So
Yeah, exactly. I
will
think
say-
they got it. I think they did a good job at explaining it.
I will say I was shocked that I thought that cat character Socks was going to be like annoying and overpowering of this movie, and he was very well used in this movie.
The best part of the movie, to be honest. It's just
and no, you're not wrong.
Relief. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Socks. It was great.
All right, Mr. Keith, why don't you go and name off your top movies so far of 2022, and we'll discuss them.
All right. So I'm just going to do a 10. I had Secrets of Dumbledore at 10. I'm bumping it, putting Scream there.
That's fair.
Yeah. Nah, and you're like Brian. I hear you, but I just
For me, it's just more Harry Potter for me. Like that's like I enjoy being in the wizarding world.
Oh, yeah, same. And that's the only reason why I even had it on the list. It's like, well, it's nice to be there. I do love Jude Law as Dumbledore. 9, Sonic 2. That was great. Love both these Sonic movies. Been surprised, like just
shocked.
Didn't expect this much fun from either one of those. And they're both pretty fun. So, and Emma loved them both. So. Number 8, got the Adam Project. Number 7, Doctor Strange.
I never watched that.
6. Brian, you should check it out. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
number 6,
good.
I have Turning Red. 5, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 4, movie I just saw. Went quickly, shot into my top 5. Saw it on Sunday. The Black Phone.
Oh, nice.
Jacob Bartley talked to me. He raved about it. I was hanging out with him Friday. He said it's great. He's got it really high on his list. So I went and saw it, and yes, everything he said is absolutely correct. It's a great, very tense movie. There's some points where it is very tough to watch. I don't want to get too more into it, but it's really, really good, and it does have a bittersweet ending. I'll leave that at that. Number 3, I was flipping back and forth between my 2 and 3, but my number 3, I have Top Gun Maverick by a thin margin. Right above it, I have the Batman. Okay, now before I continue, I see Jake shaking his head as if that's the worst thing he's ever heard. Like Top Gun is number 3. Number 3. God forbid.
I'm gonna mute him for a second.
Don't be mean.
You're unmuted, Keith.
No,
he
he's
muted
not.
himself. Unmute yourself, Keith.
There. As you were unmuting, I was trying to unmute myself. But a movie that you also love, just above it, is The Batman, which is quite worthy. Which you said also would have. It's your favorite Batman movie, which we both agreed coming out of that.
It's 100% the best.
Has the
Batman movie
greatest
ever
car
made.
chase scene in the history of cars.
Okay, then. So it's not.
Right
I never
after
said
the
that.
Batman
Brian.
Begins.
I never said that.
So it's not crazy that it's
Did you?
Top Gun. But
I mean, it's pretty. Never mind. I'll stay quiet.
what I will say, and this was quite a joy, and surprised myself. But my number 1 for now, and I watched it. Literally, I watched it back to back. I watched it twice in a row. Is Hustle. That's my number 1 of the year.
The Adam Sandler basketball movie, right?
I love this movie so much.
Wow.
So much. It's up there in terms of basketball movies. And hopefully we'll do a movie show one day, because there's a lot of them.
I've been hearing a lot of great stuff. I wanted to watch it. I almost sat down and watched it the day before yesterday, but I didn't have time.
It's incredible. Gio was raving about it last week. So he got me. I was going to watch it anyway, but it's very good. It's my number 1. And like I said, I watched it, grabbed kids. We sat down and said, guys, want to watch it? We watched it again right away. It's very, very good. Cast is great. All the athletes in it are great. There's NBA players in it. Anthony Edwards. It's
Anthony Edwards
plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's great in this movie. It's
I thought you were talking about Goose.
awesome. It's one of the best I've seen from Adam Sandler in a long time. So that's my number 1.
All right. Well, that's a pretty different list from Brian, which is good. Still completely shocked that you have Maverick at 3, but we'll get there one day, Keith. We'll get there one day. Sean, what about you? What are your top movies so far of 2022?
Okay, so I have 19. I'm just gonna read them as a list. Stop me and ask me a question about them when you want them. So, from the bottom up, we'll go bottom up. Morbius, The Secrets of Dumbledore. Brian, what you said as a Harry Potter fan, I was so disappointed in this movie, but not because I think I over
Are you talking about Morbius or are you talking about Harry Potter?
The Secret of Dumbledore, Harry Potter, but because Steve Kloves was coming back to write it, I think I overhyped myself on that just little factoid because he had written most of the other Harry Potter movies. I think my expectations were too high, and I need to rewatch it and properly rank it. So Morbius, Secret of Dumbledore, Uncharted, Jurassic World Dominion, Spiderhead, Doctor
I
Strange.
didn't see that.
Oh, is that out? Oh,
That's
I didn't
on
know
Netflix.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know it was out.
My friend just pooped all over that movie.
It was fine.
Really?
All of the actors did a fantastic job. It was the concept started to lose me about halfway through. So Multiverse, Spiderhead, Multiverse of Madness, Scream, the Minions movie, Rise of Gru, The Lost City. So that's my 11 through 19. So The Bad Guys, Lightyear, Chippendale, The Batman.
That's the one I need to watch.
Yeah,
Chippendale.
I started
Chippendale's a lot
it.
of
It's the first. I watched 10 minutes of that, and that was funny. So I can't wait to get back to the rest of it. So.
It's so meta and hilarious, and there's so many jokes for kids, but so many more jokes for adults that are just going to go over the kid's head. And it's on Disney Plus, so it's like it is a family movie you can watch with whoever. It was hilarious. It was a lot of good fun. So Chippendale number 7, The Batman. No, I'm sorry, Chippendale 8, The Batman, Sonic 2, and then my top 5 is The Atom Project, Jackass Forever, Turning Red, Top Gun, and Everything Everywhere all at once. And honestly, yeah, Turning Red was great. We've watched it a handful of times. I mean, I sat down and watched it at least the once, and then my kids have watched it multiple times, and they loved it. Obviously, the Jackass movie, I've only seen the once because I can't really just rewatch that movie with the kids around. But I think we all went together, right? Didn't we all see that?
Yeah.
A bunch of us saw it in theaters, and it's the most. I mean, it's the most we've laughed in the theater in years.
That's why I love those movies.
Despite the pandemic, it was just awesome the whole time. The Atom Project was a lot of fun too. A lot of people haven't seen that on Netflix or just skipped over it for whatever reason, but it was a lot of fun, good action. It's a spiritual sequel to 13 Going on 30, because you get Garner and Ruffalo as the parents in that movie. So I thought that was fun, and I really liked the first Sonic movie was the last movie we saw in theaters, and we saw it twice because my kid loved it, so we went back and rewatched it again with mom the second time. And then Sonic 2 was, if you like the first Sonic movie, Sonic 2 is just more of the same. It's basically like 2 more hours of the same movie, and it's hilarious and it's fun and it's a lot of good time. I really liked it.
As Jake says, the best comic book franchise. Or not comic book, excuse me. Best video game.
It's the best video game franchise, 100%.
I can agree with that.
All right, Dom, what do you got?
I only listed 8, but I did have a little list of like my holes in my resume, and Hustle was on there. I have not seen Hustle yet.
That is shocking to me that you haven't
I'm
watched
sure.
that.
Well, I have to watch movies as 2 people because I watch a movie without my significant other, I'm sleeping outside. So I've started that movie twice to the point of like, you're watching this without me? Like, no, I'm not. I'm doing something else. I'll turn it off.
Even if she's not interested, will she make you have to?
Oh, I mean, it's Adam Sandler.
Okay,
you'll meet her one day, and you'll know that Adam Sandler. I can't. Yeah, that's
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Real quick, just to answer Thurl, yes, I did miss Moonfall. I wasn't running out to the theaters to see that movie, and I did start Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent today. I just only got about 30 minutes into it. I just couldn't. I didn't have time. I had a lot of stuff going on today, and so I do plan on finishing that before the end of the night. So that'll make the list somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I'll start with my number 8. I think it was the same as Sean's. It's Chippendale. Yeah. Everything he said, it was just.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Saw it at the right time. All the jokes landed with me, and I just had a great time with it. 7 is speaking of Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. This is the Nick Cage movie, but Pedro Pascal is just. He's one charming MFer, and so it's just
Javi.
great. Yeah, his relationship and like watching them go through the movie together is just really fun. Number 6, I said Doctor Strange. Number 5 is actually the most recent movie I've seen. It's The Outfit.
Dylan O'Brien and Zoe Deutch.
Yes.
What is that?
So it's like all three people of like, man, I wish they were in more things, and they put them all in the same movie. And I was like,
The Outfit.
It's called The Outfit.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait, Dom, where'd you watch that?
Can neither confirm nor deny where I watched that.
Okay, fair enough.
But
It came out back in March.
yeah, I got it from a friend. Let's just say that. But what I want to say about that is, did any of you see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom?
No.
Oh no, I've heard about that. No.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Kind of the same vein as that. It all takes place in a tailor. It's a cutter shop, but the tailor. Everything takes place in this one shop for the whole movie. It's a lot of fun. It's just really good. They don't really make movies like this mid-tier kind of drama. Number 4, I had The Northmen. We talked about that. Number 3, this is the Northmen and this movie have been bouncing back and forth, but right now I'm feeling number 3, The Batman. I commented last week on, I've just been, noir is just my niche right now, and I'm just, so the Batman.
I may or may not be literally listening to the soundtrack in the background.
It's just, it's just great. Number 2 is the most fun I've had at a movie theater in God knows when, but Top Gun Maverick. Then 1, I had Everything Everywhere All at Once. But those movies are just both really, really, really good and a lot of fun.
Agreed. It's funny. I didn't remember what Ma Rainey's was until I looked it up, and I've also seen Ma Rainey's Chadwick Boseman film. Yeah,
great
I've also, and I completely forgot that it even was a thing.
That was his last.
Wasn't Viola nominated for that?
Viola was nominated. Yeah, it was his.
I think, or something.
He won.
I'm pretty sure it was his last on-screen performance.
Yeah,
It's very much the same universe because it feels like a stage play, and it all takes place in one.
It's great. It's great, and his performance is fantastic as well as the rest of the cast. All right, a couple lists that I want to read off before I get to mine. Our fellow member here, Mr. Jacob Bartley, gave me his top 5 so far this year, and his
he
5
wanted
include
it in for one of those movies. Keith probably guessed which one it is.
Yep.
His 5. So his number 5 comes in as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Number 4 is Top Gun Maverick. Number 3 is Elvis. Number 2 is The Black Phone, and number 1 is The Batman. So those are his top 5 movies of this year.
He loved Elvis. He was raving about it.
I'm looking forward to seeing it a lot. I really want to see it.
I wanted to go see it today. I just didn't get to it.
Yeah, I really want to go see it. I've been a decent fan of Austin Butler for a little while. I've known about him for a while, and I've just kind of been waiting to see what he does. So I'm super excited to see that he's getting the recognition because I always thought he was really good. But to play and capture someone like Elvis is a pretty big deal, and it seems like he's done so. So I'm very interested in seeing what goes on in that movie. And my grandmother called me and said the movie is like one of the best movies ever made. So hey, I'm taking her word for it. All right, and then Brian Nussbaum here in the chat threw his top 5 in. Number 5 is Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. Didn't know that was an actual movie. Number 4 is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Number 3 is Jackass Forever. Number 2 is Hustle. And number 1 is The Rescue Rangers. So there you go.
God, I'm gonna watch that.
Watch it.
I keep forgetting it's a thing. It's because it's not. Disney Plus needs to do a better job of plastering stuff as like their lead content. Because I keep forgetting it's available. All right, so my top 8, I did 8 this time. I've seen more movies than that, but I decided to just do the 8 for now because I felt like those are the only movies that deserve to be ranked for my likings. Number 8, I have Scream 5. We talked about it very early on in the show. I loved it. I loved what it did, both old and new. A great blending. Number 7, I have The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I watched it today. It was fantastic. I've always said Nick Cage can do no wrong, but Dom is right. Pedro Pascal stole the movie. He's so good in this movie. And I just loved how absolutely insane it was. Nick Cage playing Nick Cage and everyone else around him thinking he's the greatest thing on planet Earth is just incredible.
That first scene when he's like, I can read.
Yes.
Do you
Oh
want me
my
to
God,
read?
it's so good.
I can
So
read.
good.
I can.
So
Okay,
good.
okay. I'm gonna read.
Number 6, I have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We talked plenty about that movie. Number 5, a movie that we haven't talked much about is The Adam Project. I think this movie is absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
I love the movie so much. It's such an original sci-fi movie that is totally teetered towards me. It's also a pairing of director and actor for what we're going to be getting for Deadpool 3, which is a very big deal.
Totally forgot about that.
And we're going to be seeing more of them together. Sean, you mentioned it. It's Mark Ruffalo, Jennifer Garner. I thought the kid was just unbelievable as a younger Ryan Reynolds. He's playing Percy Jackson. If you have not seen it, go. I forget what his name is. I think his name is Walker or something, but he did a full reading of a scene from Deadpool. That is unbelievable. He verbatim read a scene from Deadpool out of the blue in an interview. That was just remarkable. He's completely a mini Ryan Reynolds, which is just great. So that's number 5. Number 4, I also have Everything Everywhere All at Once. That is my number 4. Also the best confusing title of all time. We've talked about that movie. Michelle Yeoh is fantastic. Number 3, I have The Batman, the best Batman movie ever made. I've said it. I'll say it again. Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, absolutely incredible. Number 2, The Northman. I talked about it earlier, a movie that blew my mind. And then number 1, the best movie I've seen in 7 years. Yes, I went back and tracked everything.
7 years.
The best movie I've seen in 7 years is Top Gun Maverick. I never expected.
What movie from 7 years ago?
So there was 2 in 2015. It was
Mad Max
Ex
Fury
Machina
Road,
and Mad Max Fury Road.
Cool.
Ex Machina and Mad Max Fury Road were the last time I felt this way about a movie.
He loves Top Gun Maverick more than he loves Mad Max Fury Road.
I didn't say I liked it more. I said I haven't felt this way since a movie since 2015. Relax, my guy.
I've been trying to make him say that ever since we saw it.
What do you like?
You're not going to make me say it.
What do you like better between Mad Max and Ex Machina?
Ooh.
So that's a trigger question because I think the better film is Ex Machina. A favorite that I love more is probably Mad Max. The better film is Ex Machina, though. We'll see what Top Gun feels like here in just a little bit. I've seen it 3 times already. I don't know when I'm stopping. I'm gonna go see it more. I don't know.
You see it in D-Box.
But yeah, that's my favorite of the year so far. I don't know.
Back when you hit the G's.
Yes. I don't know what's gonna top it. I mean, RRR might top it. I'm not sure. I need to watch it. But yeah, there it is, everybody. Our top movies of 2022 so far. There's a lot of them.
We got some more top 5s in the chat
Rachel,
too.
You're absolutely.
Oh, we do.
4v Ferrari.
I like it more than 4v Ferrari.
Remember?
Really?
Keith, remember how when that was the greatest movie ever?
And we both love 4v Ferrari. We're even on that.
There's a top 5 from RD Films. His top 5 is number 5, Spirit Walker. Number 4 is Ambulance.
No one mentioned
Number 3
Ambulance.
is RRR. 2 is Top Gun Maverick, and number 1 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'll be honest, Ambulance, like as insane as it is, it's actually not terrible.
Yeah, I hate it.
It's not terrible. It's on Peacock. It's available on Peacock. It's not awful. It's just the most Michael Bay thing you probably have ever seen in your entire life.
Yes.
And he's also discovered what drones can do, so just expect that.
Yeah, right.
Tim Franco here. Number 5 is The Northman. Number 4 is Massive Talent. Number 3 is X, which has not been mentioned. Haven't been able to watch. It's a horror film, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then number 2 is RRR, and number 1 is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Andy put his in as well, but I think he's trolling because he had Morbius on the list. So I think we should just ignore what Andy says.
No, I think he might be right. I think this might actually be his top 5.
He's being serious.
Unless these are just the movies he's seen this year.
Number 5 is Morbin Time. I love that he's calling it Morbin Time. That's amazing.
He's
number
down
5 or
the
number
Southern
4
Hemisphere, so
Chippendale.
7.
Sorry, 7 is
Oh,
Morbin
that was
Time.
his whole
6,
list. Yeah,
Chippendale.
that was his whole list. He said.
5 is Doctor Strange. 4 is Turning Red. 3 Batman. 2 Unbearable Weight, and number 1 is Top Gun Maverick. Thank you so much, Andy. We appreciate it. That was my whole list. Love it. Thank you. Spirit Walker is a South Korean action film that is like Quantum Leap meet cool action. There you go.
Okay.
RD's from the UK, so he watches. I've spoken to him many times. He watches a lot of foreign action films of like The Raid and stuff like that. So he has a lock on all of that stuff. If you ever want movies like that, he definitely knows what he's talking about. All right, gentlemen. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up tonight? Anything?
No, Thurl. I don't think anyone saw the BTS movie.
See you at the end of the year.
Huh?
Yeah.
See you at the end of the year.
Oh, you're gonna be on before then. I bet.
Hey, at least you've
You're
been
gonna
on
be
Whiskey
on
Jedi.
Dom. You're gonna be on for Blonde.
I'm gonna be on for Blonde. Let's go.
You're gonna be on for Blonde.
Oh, was this? I gotta be. Will that be my 5th time?
Probably.
Is this my 5th time?
I don't know. Why?
You've got to have been on at least 5 times at
'Cause
this point.
I told Jake I want a 5-timers jacket like SNL.
You've got to at least have been on 5 times. I feel like.
All right.
I'm gonna count my Halo appearances so I can get a 5-timers jacket.
Jake, I highly recommend the Black Phone.
I want to
you.
see it. I would love to take Gabby, but I know that she'd probably freak her crap.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, I don't think she'll like it. But for you, I highly recommend it. The kids in that movie are excellent.
Okay,
Excellent.
good to know.
It's some of the best
Good to
kid
know.
acting I've seen in a long time.
I'll try to do the best I can with all the time in the world I have.
There's no way I'm seeing that movie.
What else do you have going on, Jake? Come on.
What else do I have going on? You're right.
As far as anticipated movies, which could supplant a lot of these, like we're seeing one of them this week. Thor is it was my second when Spider-Verse was still set to come out in October, but since that got kicked back 6 months, Thor is my most anticipated movie. I can't think for the life of me like what else is even coming out this year. Like
Gray Man,
Creed 3.
Avatar, Creed 3.
Is that set this year? Okay.
Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam later this year.
Yeah, there's a little bit, not a
Wakanda
ton.
Forever.
Black
That
Panther
is set for
2.
October, yeah.
I saw a poster for it in the theater.
We also we talked about last week's show, but the Martin Scorsese film, Killer Moon.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of movies that we haven't.
All we're gonna hear about from that one, I feel like, is
Babylon.
Killers.
Scorsese.
Yes, Dom, yes. The Damien Chazelle film. Yes, you are right.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot
League
of stuff that we haven't.
No.
Oh no.
I'm a parent. I'll be taking my kids in about 3 weeks.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, we'll do some quick plugs before we wrap up. Dom, I know you're not online, but would you like to say anything?
Just go watch movies.
I've been trying to figure out what team is your hat.
It's the Oakland Oaks. It's a.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, I know the Oakland Oaks. Yeah.
Sean, what about you?
What's up? Yeah, you can catch me over at Flick and Reel on YouTube, and it's where me and myself and my partner Jesse Swift and Allison and Scott do a lot of movie reviews, a lot of the similar stuff, and you can catch us there. I mentioned earlier I watched MASH for the first time, 1970s MASH. So what I'm going to do, a brand new segment. I haven't talked about it much because I'm going to edit it first and put them out hopefully weekly, probably end up being every 2 weeks because it's a lot of work. I haven't seen a ton. I've been so ingrained with, a lot of us are fans of the Schmodown with watching Intergeekdom movies because that was my division in the FCL. And that is sadly ending. So I'm going to go back and watch a ton of movies that I've never seen before. That's my goal over the next year or two or more, in life. I'm going to start with 1970. I'm going to watch all 5 Oscar nominated movies. And then I'm going to do a review down 10, 15 minutes and kind of rank them myself, do like my own 5 ranking in order. I'm going to try to do that like every couple of weeks just to get through the movies. I figure 52 years back, if I did it once a week, then it'd be a good, year-long project. I think it'll take much longer for that because watching 5 movies and editing a video takes a long time, especially, with kids and life going on. So I watched MASH today. I was going to watch Patton and a bunch of the other movies starting with 1970, working my way forward. So catch that over on Flick and Reel, as well as other weekly content that we hang out, we talk movies, talk shows, do everything else.
Let me
All
know
the
when
links
you
are
get
in
to
the
Nashville. That's Robert Altman.
Yeah.
77. I want to say Nashville. Fantastic. One of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
Flick and Reel links are all in the description, so you guys can check those out there. Keith, what about you? Where can they find you?
You can find real quick, Sean. The MASH the movie.
MASH the movie.
Okay. Had you ever watched the show before?
I've seen the show, yeah, with Alan Alda. Like I've seen the show. It's it's in syndication, so it was always on TV on some channel that my dad was probably watching. I knew there was a movie. I thought it had all the same actors. It didn't. Obviously, Donald Sutherland plays the Alan Alda character.
Right.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. It's very of its time, especially with a lot of the misogyny that and the type of jokes they were all making, right through the whole movie. But it had some good parts. It had some funny, but it was very much a 1970s movie.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, yeah, good. That's refreshing to hear. Good.
There's so many classic movies. I've never seen any of the Godfather movies, so I'll get there eventually.
Jake watched The Godfather on his phone. I yell at him. I rib him about that all the time. He watched The Godfather on his phone.
I don't have time to sit down and watch a lot of movies, but I have plenty of driving time at work going from place to place. So a lot of them I'll have on my phone, but I'm listening to them, and I'll have like my phone in my cup holder. So I'm not like actively watching while I'm driving. That's dangerous. But I'll listen to a lot of movies, especially re-listening, like re-watching movies, which is what I was doing for Schmodown stuff.
Right.
I didn't need to actively watch it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I derailed for too long. You can find me on Twitter at KeithBrown79. You can see me, of course, here Tuesdays on Apocaflix. You can see me and my buddy Jacob Bartley and Barnes. We are on hiatus right now. We're coming back pretty soon, actually. We'll let you know when that's going to catch me with our other good buddy Gio Ramos on every now and then on Fandom United. And yeah. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Brian?
Be Evolvecino on Twitter and Instagram, and a certain point of view with Jake. You're not going to put the graphic up?
I was writing. You don't have to call me out on
it. There we go. And then, hey, Jake, did you hear you're going to get a Chris Evans and Emily Blunt?
Sure did.
Movie?
That's right after a Chris Evans and Ana de Armas movie. Boom.
That's funny.
All right, Qui-Gon Jake for myself, 2 N's because someone else took it before I did. That's both Twitter and Instagram. POV Apocaflix movies. Make sure you're checking out Marvel Rewind as we are recapping Miss Marvel, which we have 2 episodes left of that series. That show is Wednesdays at 4:00. And then myself, the Whiskey Jedi. You can find me on my own channel. The link is in the description. Excuse me. Not just doing whiskey shows where I talk about whiskey and some Star Wars, but also doing reactions to movies that my fiance has never seen before. The first phase of Marvel is up there, as well as episode 1, The Phantom Menace for Star Wars. She has never seen that. You can check out the reaction.
To get them all
it's a lot
by the wedding
of fun.
before he can marry her.
And there's no time for all that, Brian. So just try to just stop while you're ahead, my guy. Yes, as I mentioned, top of the show, next week we're doing a full Thor Love and Thunder breakdown. There might be a little change / surprise for that show. I will keep that until then. But again, to everyone watching live, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. To the 14, 15, 19, however many of you were in here. Yeah. We appreciate it. To all of our regulars, everyone who popped in for the first time. To Dom and Sean for popping in and joining us. Thank you guys so much. It was a lot of fun talking with you guys as always. Yes. Doing some rankings, hearing you guys' thoughts. And yeah, so everyone have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Peace.